48, 49.
50 miles an hour is the claimed top speed on this dual motor, dual battery, dual controller, 60 volt electric bike.
20?
It's called the E-Cells Monstar, and this thing should be an absolute monster.
Dude, we are just cooking, dude. 20, holy crap, dude.
This thing's running 60 volts and pulling 80 amps of current through the dual controllers. Looking at the spec sheet here, this thing should be absolutely freaking outrageous. Current MSRP is $3,595, but don't you pay that price. Click on the link down below this video. It'll get you a little discount on this bike, and it'll also help support my reviews if you decide this is the bike for you. But don't buy this thing just yet. We gotta review it and see if it's any good or not. Possibility death. There's something serious in here. Holy crap, there's so much cool stuff I see on this already. So the very first thing catching my attention on this bike is the giant tires, 26 by 4.8 inches wide. Typical fat tire e-bikes are only 4 inches wide, and look at this tread pattern, man. We can see the rims are gold, and they are the double wall construction, making them a little bit more sturdy than a typical wheel. And of course, we have our beast mode 60 volt Hentech steel reinforced geared hub motor up front. This thing is rated for 1500 watts of continuous power, but it can definitely peak out far more than 1500 watts. There's all the numbers on this model. And the disc brake we have on front is a Tektro 203 millimeter. That's about as big as they come. Awesome. And of course, I'm gonna show you those dual controllers in a minute. But one thing that's really catching my attention is these 11 gears on the back cassette. Link glide gears. This is a significant upgrade from other stuff I've seen on E-Cells bikes so far. Look at the range on that thing, man. And we're also running the Shimano Q's derailleur. That is a huge upgrade over the typical Tourney and Acera derailleurs we've been seeing. And of course, we have our second 60 volt steel reinforced geared Hentech motor in the back here. And there's something I want to show you guys around back here. Check it out. This is the E-Cells no drop dropout on the rear. So it's got this little bolt down here. It makes it easy to pop this rear wheel off if you need to for any reason. You know, say you get a flat or something. And it also keeps it really secure on there. Of course, it is full suspension with the 4-bar rear linkage, running the DNM A08 RC that we've seen on a lot of other E-Cells bikes. This is a solid suspension with adjustments for compression and rebound with these dials. And as I've shown you in other videos, you can adjust the air pressure in this chamber with a shock pump, so you can dial that into your riding weight and preferences. But where things really start to get interesting is up here on the electronics. Not only do we have the 60 volt controller on the rear, we've got another one of those mounted right here. So each one of these controllers is rated for 40 amps plus or minus 2 amps maximum current, and it is a 60 volt controller. 60 volts on a full charge is 67 volts. So in theory, the peak power output on this bike would be 67 times 80 amps, which is insane. So that would be 5,000 watts of peak power in theory. We're gonna have to get this thing out there and see how it rides. Now up front, we get an all-wheel drive. And we get an adjustable ProMax stem, so you can raise this angle up if you want your handlebars higher or lower. Handlebars have a bit of a rise, and bro, Tektro Dorado hydraulic brakes. This is not entry-level stuff. Shimano Q shifter, 11 gears on that monster, as we've seen on the rear cassette. Got some faux ergonomic leather grips, and a quarter twist throttle for power application. 3 modes on the switch here. Turn signals, horn, and pedal assist levels. We'll get this thing powered up soon, but first we gotta get that wheel on and look at the suspension. Downhill 36 stanchions. Of course, it is a dual crown fork, DH36. It's got an adjustment on the right stanchion for your compression. And on the left stanchion, we have an adjustment for the air pressure in that shock. Let's actually get a little guide over here on the left stanchion, showing you how to set it up for your particular weight. And over here on the bottom of the right stanchion, there's an adjustment for the rebound. So you can tune that for a fast or slow rebound, depending on your riding preferences. That is a pretty bad to the bone front shock. But wait, there's more. Brakes are 4-piston Dorado. What is in this box? Here's the battery for the rear rack. Of course, it is a 60 volt battery, 15 amp hours for the rear, 900 watt hours of energy on the rear alone. And the website shows these are Samsung high discharge battery cells, 50S, 2170 cells. Battery cells are very important on e-bikes. Let's check out that one in the frame. The battery drops out of the bottom of the frame. And this is the big battery. 60 volt, 25 amp hours with 1,500 watt hours of energy. Dang, bro. So that is a monster of a battery. What's it weigh in at? 16 pounds for the front one. And that is a 25 amp hour, not 20 amp hour, 25 amp hour, 60 volt battery. Huge, huge capacity. Let's weigh this one independent. And if you want to extend your range even more, you got the 15 amp hour weighing in at 10.8. So between the two, you can add those numbers up, about 27 pounds of battery. And both of those are high quality Samsung high discharge cells. Supposedly, we're gonna put it to the test here soon. 2,400 watt hours of energy between those two batteries, man. That is just huge. We also got a tire pump, and let's check out the charger. A single charger with a 5 amp output. So 40 amp hours total divided by 5 amp charge rate. That'd be about 8 hours to charge both these batteries from completely empty to completely full with one charger. You could run dual chargers on this thing though. Also, this charger has a little split on it, so it actually feeds out into 2 independent plugs. So you can plug one of these into each battery. There's also 2 plug-in ports on the bike. E-Cells tool kit, patch kit, a little mini pump. Looks like they give us a decent wrench here for getting that motor on. A little strap for the rear rack. Instructions for the rear shock and front shock. And a set of basic metal pedals. And a derailleur guard. And here's a look at the dropouts. Open dropout. And the whole wheel drops right in. Just like so. Of course, it's got this little piece here to prevent that motor from spinning. As well as the flat part on the axle. And the bolt on the right, it's got some like teeth kind of built into it. Some teeth like this to let it grip in there because we got some big torque. And no, it's not a through axle because it cannot be a through axle with the hub motor up front. But what we can do is we have these little bolts here just in case for whatever reason this thing came loose. The wheel will never fall off with those on there. It's like a no drop out feature. See how that works? So during the install, I totally forgot to add this piece. Do not forget to add this before you put the bolt on. It's actually a piece for the fender, but it also acts kind of as like a washer and extra security for keeping that front wheel definitely planted on there. Plug that front motor in. Let's get some air in those roly-polies. I find it best to keep weight off the tire so you can make sure that bead gets on there just right. Solid. If you flip your bike over like this, just careful not to break your controls, man. Pad them. You ready to tear it up, bro? Let's see if I can flip this beast of a bike over, dude. Whoa. Don't worry about me, bro. So you know what time it is. Weigh-in time. I'm gonna pick the whole bike up. We'll subtract 192.4. So grabbing the whole bike, no batteries on this thing. Let's see what the scale says. Holy smokes. 298.6. So 106.2 pounds. And that's without the batteries. So add 27 pounds onto 106. So 133 pounds total, but we didn't put the fender or the front light on yet. So they give you a bicycle helmet for your electric bicycle and a pretty large headlight. So we'll put that front fender on in a minute. But first, let's drop that battery in there. Slide this one in the rear as well. Lock it on. And real quick look at this rack on the back. It mounts along here with 2 mounting points onto the frame as well as one additional mount going on there. So it looks pretty sturdy. And we have connection points for pannier bags. And you can put stuff on top of the battery if you want. You don't have to run the rear battery if you're just going for a short ride. You want to keep the weight down. And we have a light on the rear that functions independent from the whole bike. And obviously that light down there, which will turn on in a minute. But real quick, let me give you an idea of the size of this bike. So if you're not new here, you already know I am 6'5", the inseam 34. I have the seat on maximum height right now. So swinging a leg over this thing, this is an absolute monster truck of an electric bike in terms of size. It's got some weight to it. It is a beast of a bike. But getting on this thing as a tall dude feels like it fits me very, very well. So here's what my pedal stroke is looking like with the seat on maximum height. Handlebars have a bit of a rise on them, but gets you in a bit of a riding position, allowing you to get a little bit of weight up on the handlebars, which is actually probably important for actually getting that power down to the ground on the front wheel, as well as maintaining control of the bike. When you get really, really far up, you get less and less weight on the front, which gives you less and less traction on the front, as well as less control of the bike. Suspension out of the box is feeling pretty good. And these tires, dude, I just cannot wait to ride this thing on the sand by the beach. It is just gonna absolutely decimate, I have a feeling. So let's drop the seat on down to minimum height. The seat post is actually really long, so let's drop it all the way down to minimum. So the seat on minimum height, swinging a leg on over this thing. Here's what I'm looking like on here. This is what my pedal stroke would look like with the seat on max or minimum height. Obviously the handlebar to seat ratio is a little bit different, so kind of a more upright riding position with the seat on minimum. Running the same seat as we've seen on other E-Cell bikes is comfortable. Got a little bit of shape to it. I like that one. And we're gonna raise those bars up just a bit. Just a few other things to point out. It does have a double wall chain guard on this bike. It'll protect the teeth on the sprocket in case, you know, you're going over some rough terrain and you smash it. Can also double as helping keep the chain on there. And I want to show you the other side of the bike. Dude, this legit feels like a freaking monster truck. So I just wanted to show you the Tektro 4-piston hydraulic brake on the rear. Also running a 203mm Tektro. We do get 2 charging ports on this bike. Obviously you could charge directly on the batteries, but you have these ones as well. So I think it's about time we fire this thing up. E-Cells. So right away, looks like we get an individual readout for each of the batteries. Pretty awesome. We get motor power down here, temperature in Celsius, and then you can see we're set to front motor right now, which we have the switch right here. Let's flip it on to 2, you get the double zapper dual motor, and then over to 3, get rear motor. So I love that we have easy access to the switches for which power mode you want, and then we'll hold the plus and minus button to get into the advanced settings. So we have the old school style for adjusting all the stuff. We'll get in there and mess with that later. It is set to a max speed of 32 kilometers an hour out of the box, which is 20 miles an hour. So I'd say the first thing we're gonna wanna do there is get this thing, we'll dial it all the way to the max of 99 kilometers an hour. Everything else should be pretty normal. So looks like we get average speed, max speed, and miles per hour front and center. Get 5 levels of pedal assist, motor power down there on the bottom, and some other stuff too. Let's try the horn. That's kind of a cool horn. It actually vibrates the handlebars a little bit. I haven't heard that one before. And we get turn signals over here. I think that's turn signals. To turn on the light, you hold the plus, usually just hold up, yep. So that's a pretty bright headlight up front. Typically, it's pretty hard to see them in the daylight in here, but we can see that one. And yeah, it's pretty big light. Around back, we also get the light down here on the bottom. This one turns off independent from the bike's battery. Does it have brake lights? Yes, they light up a little brighter. Does it have turn signals? Yes. So I can see it's got the signals on. So we gotta charge this thing up before we get it out for a ride, but let's throw it on rear motor. So on rear motor, throttle only, plus is 5. With no load, it'll take us up to basically 55 miles an hour. Yeah, 54 miles an hour. I can feel the wind. And the gyroscopic effect going on here. Science, bro. All right, dudes, let's go the E-Cells Monstar for a rip. I'm so freaking excited for today. And I did not put the front fender on there. We do have these things down there for safety. Well, it acts as like a washer kind of. And then this would go on up there, but I did not mess with it. We'll do that later. And I did kind of look at the suspension here. It looks like it was already set up for my weight pretty much, 110 PSI. So when you get a nice suspension setup like this, it'd be wise of you to get it dialed in. And let's fire this thing up. We got both batteries on a full charge. And we're gonna run the Strava app to track our official range on these batteries and clock our top speed. So I think you know what time it is. Time to hit the 20% grade, and we're gonna flip this thing onto dual motor. I have not messed with the C values yet. We'll put on pedal assist 5. Now flooring it from a dig genuinely may be a bad idea, but I weigh 200 pounds. Ready, go. Oh yeah, a little wheel spin there and pulling us right on up. This is not giving us full power, I can tell. So let's get into the advanced settings here. Take a look at those menus. C5 is on 3. We might have to mess with this stuff in a few because I don't think that's launching 100%. Not that you even would want it to, honestly. All right, bros, that was definitely not fully unlocked, but this bike is fully unlocked now. This is actually at the end of the ride, so we're not even on full charge. We're only at, about 61 volts. So now with everything unlocked, let's see how it does on 20% grade. Whoa!
So we are just absolutely cooking. I was like...
So just to be clear, that first rip up the 20% grade was on the stock settings. The second one was with the bike fully unlocked at the end of the ride. I just wanted to put that clip in there to show you guys how it does on the 20% grade when it's fully unlocked. Now the next few minutes of this video is going to be me riding the bike on the stock settings. Then finally we figure out how to unlock it, and that's when things get crazy.
So I don't think we need to redline it necessarily right away. Let's get out here and play with the power a bit, because this thing's going to be pretty crazy. So let's go ahead and just dial this thing on down to, let's just say 0 here, and see what this thing's like to pedal if your battery were to die. We do have 11 speeds on that cassette, which this feels like a pretty awesome setup on gearing with the Shimano Q's derailleur. I mean, you're not going to be pedaling this thing very fast. You can get it rolling though. I mean, we're going 5 and the cadence is fine doing this. So let's try pedal assist 1 on dual motor, and ready? Okay, so it kicks on pretty gentle there, just like 100 watts, you know, pretty chill. And we'll put that on about gear 4 now. Pedaling this thing actually feels pretty good. And I do believe we have a torque sensor on there. It's giving us power kind of based on how hard we're pressing on it. It makes us work for it a little bit. So for as outrageous as this thing's gonna be, you know, it can dial down. A nice looking yellow Lambo there. I'm just gonna put it on top gear of 11 right now. So yeah, you just barely rotating the pedals here, and this thing just feels like an absolute monster truck. The torque sensor feels nice. It's responsive. Like I'm just barely kind of touching on the pedals. Pedal assist 1 here. It's giving about 90 watts of power only. And just for the heck of it, let's switch it on to 1, so that's front motor, and see how that feels. So yeah, can't really even tell, honestly, much of a difference. Put it on rear motor. I just flipped it to 3. That's rear motor only. So I love that you can just switch the motors on the fly while riding this thing. You don't got to get in the menus or anything. And we'll go back to dual motor now. So yeah, I could feel that motor kick on right away. All right, so I'm liking it. Now let me just try throttle. We're on pedal assist 1. Let's see what happens if we do throttle. Oh yeah, we get all the juice there. I am running these tires on 25 PSI currently. We might drop them down when we get to the sand to get better traction, but for top speed run, I think, oh my goodness, I think we're gonna want more pressure rather than less. All right, so pedal assist 2 here. What's that doing? So it is a torque sensor, just kind of dials things up a bit here. Feels awesome going around that churn, honestly. Like it's a big bike, but these tires are wide and meaty, 4.8 inches wide, 26 inches tall. I mean, this is like the absolute most monster truck of an e-bike I've ever ridden in my entire life. But yeah, just pedaling along here on 2, it's fine. Let's try mode 3. So even on mode 3, like I'm pedaling and it's giving me like 900 watts about. So if you're scared of this thing being too crazy for you, it seems like you can ride it like reasonably. So that's this 4 now on the torque sensor, pedaling just a bit here, giving about 1,000 watts. Not much effort here to get going about 22. And pedal assist 5 now, barely even having to work for it at all. And huge rotors and Tektro Dorado brakes. Not even bedded in, they're already feeling fantastic though. I just text David, can you tell me the C settings to make everything the most powerful? And let's get it off in the mulch here a little bit, feel out the suspension. So love the 4-bar linkage on the rear, the D&M shock we've seen on so many bikes. It's pretty good for, you know, what you're getting for the money. And front air shock, I got it dialed into my weight of 200 pounds, right at about 110 PSI. So I love that it has all the adjustments on the compression and, you know, the air, the rebound. I mean, it's good suspension, dude. Good suspension, especially compared to a lot of the junk we see on this channel, honestly. All right, let's get out here and ride traffic. Why not? So we'll do full throttle here. We're gonna have to let off, actually, let this minivan do its thing, but full throttle here. And we'll shift up to gear number 9 here, going into a headwind here. We'll do a top speed run in a bit, but this is headwind. And I can just tell we're not fully unlocked here doing, it's only showing 1,600 watts, so we're gonna have to get into the settings. So let's give it a 0 to 20 rip on the stock settings other than top speed unlocked. LSS 5, ready, go. Oh, yeah, all right. So we're ripping 15, 20. I think it's got more in it though, honestly. Like that's fast as heck, but I feel like it'll probably do even more. There goes the answer. C5 needs to be 10. We have it on 3. Crank C5 up to 10. All right, let's give it a rip. I don't even know if this is a good road to do this on, but ready, go. Oh, we're on fastest 1. Oh yeah, we got a little more juice now, I think. Yeah, 3,000, 3,200 watts. Yeah, dude, we are freaking cooking. Easily passing 40. Oh my goodness, yeah. 42, I'm gonna get a little aerodynamic. 45, 46, dude, we're going faster in traffic. 47, 48, I'm just gonna cross over here, holy crap. 48, 48, 49, let's get 50. Come on, showing 3,600 watts, going 49 miles an hour. Let's try the brakes now. Holy crap, dude, this thing is outrageous. Holy crap, bro, that was insane. Whoa, yeah, we got a little more juice off the line now. Holy smokes. Yeah, we were not unlocked up until now. Probably wasn't my safest move up there, but I didn't want to lane split those cars. Bro, this thing is outrageous. And you got to remember to keep your finger on a brake lever to not accidentally juice it. Holy crap, dude. You do not want that to catch you off guard, bro. Wow, this is not a newbie electric bike. Do not buy this thing unless you are ready for something absolutely insane. So now with everything unlocked, let's go ahead and give this another 0 to 20 run if we can even get the power down here. Ready, go! 20? I don't even know, dude. It went from 16 to 23 on there. Let's do one more try at that. Ready, go! Oh! And 20. Dude, that's gotta be, I don't even want to say, man. That is just outrageous is what that is. Holy crap, bro. And we are on PSI 25. I should really drop the tire pressure, but I just know this thing's gonna have no trouble at all out here. I just want to try and climb this extremely steep hill right here on full PSI. Oh yeah, no problem, bro. Holy crap, dude, we are just swerving all over the place. I'm gonna end up draining these batteries today on this thing probably because this is just so fun. I really need to drop the PSI on these tires. Let me try and make this turn without crashing here. Whoa. Yeah, we need to drop the PSI. This is like the softest sand ever right here. Go! Not even like touching on the throttle barely. You don't need the power. And man, I wish I would have put that front fender on there right now, kicking all that sand up on me. I was just too excited to get out here and rip. And we're gonna get out there and cook a little bit more here in a few, but man, this is just the absolute most outrageous electric bike I have ever tried to this point in time. Well, who knows, man? They just keep getting crazier and crazier, so maybe something even crazier is coming. All right, dudes, let's go try this thing on the sand for real, man. We're gonna stop and drop a little bit of PSI out of these tires, though. Like I said, we were doing 25 for like the high speed runs. I didn't bring any scientific measurement device here. I'm just gonna drop them a bit so we get a little better traction out here on the sand. I have no idea what that was. Just a few PSI, maybe 15, 20 PSI, somewhere in that ballpark. This one, I got up to 49 so far. Somebody supposedly got it up to 53.
53 miles? That's good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Not bad for an electric bicycle. It's like 3,500 roughly. I have a little discount code for it. Pretty much, yeah. All right, here's a plan. This thing's so capable. We're just jumping straight on it. Whoa, from a dig. We don't need a running start or anything. And we're already going 12. I had to let off here. It's like, make this turn. Oh my goodness. This thing is an absolute freaking Monstar. They named it appropriately. Holy crap, dude. Yeah, I could probably drop the PSI in these tires just a little bit more. I can tell I'm getting a little squirrely, but we could easily get up to like 20. Let's go just rip through volleyball land. Yeah, I'm getting blasted with sand. I really wish I would have took the time to put that fender on the front, but I was just so excited to get out here. Probably get that ball and kick it back to them, but let's see if we can kick it. Yeah, got it in the right direction at least a little bit there. Now let's just zigzag around out here, see how long this thing can keep putting down the power without, overheating the motors or controllers. I'm guessing, it's probably gonna be able to do pretty well for quite a while. Like, the amount of torque on this thing is just absolutely outrageous, dude. This is like an absolute freaking trophy truck. We're gonna have to dial it down here, just cruise on through nice and soft right here. And we'll let's get back out, rip through here just a bit, get on the throttle. So the full suspension, man, it really isolates you from all the imperfections out here. Well, maybe not all the imperfections, but it makes it pretty smooth, man. It's not too bad. You can hear my voice when I'm talking. There's no like, blah, blah. Oh my God, dude, this thing is just amazing, dude. Oh. This is like a motorcycle for the sand, dude. Like, this is by far the best performing electric bike I've ever tried in the sand. We're going into headwind right now, going 23, 25. I don't want to crash going this fast, dude. We're just cooking, dude. 20, holy crap, dude. 20, that's like 27 miles into headwind on the sand, dude. What in the world, dude? This thing is absolutely insane. I can't tell like how much power it's putting down because I have to keep my eyes on where I'm going, but let me tell you, dude, it is a lot of freaking power. Dude, they could just like do donuts out here in the sand. Like, this is amazing. Whoa! I start getting sideways, I just get on the throttle and it just like rips me like right out of like whatever imbalance I have. Like on most e-bikes, like once you start getting sideways, like you're just gonna like lose it if you get sideways. So check it out, it's like go, 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 go. Wow, dude. This is crazy good, dude. What do you think? Should we jump it? Oh, let's live to ride another day. God, why do I have to do this to my brand new bikes? Look at all that sand in there. I would not recommend doing that to your brand new cassette. That's a nice cassette. Was a nice cassette. We're gonna have Ron meet us in a minute and see what he thinks of this bike.
It rides better on the sand than it does on the pavement.
All right, bros, let's go hit the California Incline. So if you're new here, the California Incline is the top of that 85-foot cliff. That little ramp there is a 12% grade. Hey, look, dude, at least we have pedals, unlike those things right there. We got pedals on this. So we're on gear 11. I just like cruising on gear 11. We'll drop it down to, I don't know, 5 or something to go up that little spiral section. This is gonna be more about controlling the power, honestly, because like throttles, we're just spinning out the front tire, dude. Like, this is insane. Like, no. But we do have the torque sensor on there, so it'll give you power in proportion to how hard you press on the pedals. Even on pedal assist 5, it just allows you to control that power so much nicer. So on these high power bikes, just having control over your power is actually really important. I mean, if you can't control this amount of power, if it's like an on-off switch, it's almost like unusable, but this one you can actually control, man. So I got our back wheel against here, full throttle, ready, go! Oh my God, dude, already 20 basically. Yeah, we're going way too fast here. 27, 29, 30. Woo! The truck is passing us, just barely. 34. And I'm just gonna let off there right around 34 miles an hour up the California Incline. Not even touching the pedaling. That was all throttle, baby. We got 0 seconds across. Let's get across real quick. So we are on 4-piston giant Tektro hydraulic brakes, 203 millimeters. Dude, you just need big hydraulic awesome brakes on a bike this powerful. And we got them, baby. So on the downhill, we're going woo, really fast. And I'm really not even pressing on them all the way here, but brings us a nice controlled stop. We probably could have went faster if I tucked there, but I just felt a little nervous about how fast we were actually going. Wow. So, I mean, these Dorado brakes are fantastic. Let me show you what it looks like stopping 20 to 0. So let's see how these things stop from about 20. We got the back brake on the right, bicycle style, front brake on the left, and that was enough to lock up the front tire. So, I mean, strong brakes. Well, we do have a lot of weight and a lot of power here. Let's try from 30. So, cruising along about 30-ish. Yeah, I'm not even pulling them in all the way, man. These brakes are very confidence-inspiring. Excellent brakes on this thing, man. So we are currently sitting at 63 volts on the batteries after about an hour of ride time. We're gonna head on home, check the final range. Let me share my final thoughts along the way. So list price on this thing is $35.95 in the link below this video, but I do have a discount link down there. So if you do wanna buy this thing, make sure you click on that link if you wanna get the best price. And also help support my reviews here on Tailhappy TV. Of course, if you do buy through that link, I would greatly appreciate your support. It'll keep this channel going and these fun reviews coming. So I mean, dude, for one, this is just absolutely not a beginner bike. This thing is insane. I mean, dude, this thing is pushing like way over 3,000 watts. And I mean, we saw it hit 49 miles an hour. The suspension on this thing is just absolute monster truck. It really cushions you from everything. The frame is solid. It's got the 60-volt steel reinforced gears. I mean, dude, if you got the money and you want something absolutely insane, the bottom line is buy this bike. Click on the link below the video. Buy this bike if you have the money and You just want the craziest thing out there that's got all the torque. This thing is not gonna let you down at all. And hey, we got Ron over here, so let's let him have a rip on this thing and see what he thinks. What up, man? Yeah. If you can get over here. Everybody's looking at this thing, dude. How's it going, man?
Pretty good. How you doing?
You rode all the way down to Hermosa today?
Yeah, I rode down to Hermosa. I was on a different bike though.
Dude, you absolutely have to try this thing. This is the most fun I've ever had on an electric bike, dude.
I can ride it right now?
Oh yeah, dude.
Okay,
Heck yeah, you can ride it now. So if you once you put on pedal assist 1, you're gonna get access to all the power with the throttle, but you can use a cadence sensor to kind of like bring you up slowly. And I mean, you're gonna see like, it's just gonna be wheel spin on the front. So just
11?
genuinely be careful.
Wow, 11, that's crazy.
11, yeah. I want you to go ride it in the sand too, so. Use the brakes if you need. There he comes. He's been out there for a minute. Smiles. What do you have to say, man?
This is dangerous power.
I know, isn't it?
This is definitely dangerous power. Like I'm afraid of the throttle. I don't use it.
Yeah.
I only use the pedal assist because whenever I hit the throttle, it peels out no matter what speed you're going.
Yeah.
If you're going 20, it still peels out. If you're going 30, it still peels out. It's kind of scary when the front wheel peels out no matter what speed you're going.
Yeah, I agree, man.
You know,
The throttle.
it would need to be adjusted like to use the throttle. Otherwise, I would just use the pedal assist because.
So I did put it on the max settings.
Oh, that's why it's so powerful. I was
Yeah.
like, what the hell?
No, out of the box it only went 38, and I was like, something's not right here, you know. But yeah, I dialed it up from the C5 setting was on like 2. I put on 10. So.
You got the tires filled up. It probably won't do well on the sand.
No, dude, try it. You can try it.
I'm not like a good sand rider, but I'll try it.
If you get sideways, just get on the throttle, and it'll like straighten you out. Well, there goes Ron riding off into the sunset, making his way back. He's cooking, dude. That was like 20 or 25.
This is where this bike excels.
Yeah.
This is a sand ripper.
Yeah,
Oh my God, it's smooth on the sand.
I know,
I've
right?
never ridden anything. Maybe I should try mine on sand. I haven't really done that. It rides better on the sand than it does on the pavement.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably an accurate description. It's got these big meaty
It feels more
tires.
stable on the sand. you feel like you have more control on the sand. Like the tire doesn't spin.
Yeah.
It's like a normal like ride.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually, because it digs into the sand and.
Oh my God, I feel good on the sand. I really like it. 6 months from now, when you're bored, first.
Okay. Strengthen the hang. So we got about 61 and a half volts. Let's see what we can do towards the end of the battery. Woo! 40, 45 and gaining. Yeah. I'm gonna try and pedal a little bit, see where I actually run out of gear. I can still pedal at like 40 easily. 43 still pedaling. My goodness, dude, this is crazy. We're gonna overtake this Volkswagen, dude. Woo! Honestly, pedaling doesn't do much though. It's all about wind resistance at these speeds, man. Oh, we better slow it down. We got a sheriff out here. Oh yeah, I forgot we have turn signals. Let's get out here and whip with traffic, man. I think this driverless car is a little confused. All right, bro, just rolling into the neighborhood here. Let's see how we did on numbers. So honestly, we have more miles on this bike than this is showing because we let Ron ride it. I'd imagine he rode at least a mile, and we were out in the sand. He was out in the sand. We were all out in the sand, just absolutely decimating today. So about 20 miles, probably actually more like 22 miles, I would say. Hour and a half ride time. Average speed 13.4. And the batteries are showing about 60.5 on the front, 61 volts on the rear. So plenty of juice left in this monster of a machine, man. But the bottom line is, man, if you have the money and you want basically the most insane dual motor 60 volt electric bike you can buy this bike, dude. Click on that link below the video, buy through that link, use my discount code, it'll get you the best price and also help support my reviews here on this channel. I absolutely guarantee you're gonna love this thing. However, if this is not the kind of electric bike you're looking for, you should probably check out this video right here, bro, because YouTube is recommending it and they know what you want to see. Catch you over there.